All right, guys, well, I'm back today with one of the absolute best and functional bullpup 22s on the market. We are looking at the TREK TREK-22 rifle, which is a 1022 patterns bullpup rifle that's available as the complete setup that you see here, or as a stock that you can adapt a standard 1022, providing it fits into the chassis system. Now, there's more information about that in a previous video that I've done earlier on the TREK-22 stock. Now, I purchased the original stock myself. I did a full overview and discussed how easy it was to put together, how it functioned down at the range, and I give you the positives and negatives of doing something like that to a 1022. Desert Tech saw the video, reached out to me, and asked if I wanted to try the complete rifle, and I said absolutely, because I love the innovative and overall design features of this setup. They sent it out. We've been running it. Let's talk about it. Before I get too far into the review, I want to give a huge shout out to Target Sports USA and their Ammo Plus membership service for always helping out. I got all of my 22 from these guys, and we tried everything through this setup. I'm exclusively getting my 22 from Target Sports USA, and when you sign up for their Ammo Plus membership, there's a lot of benefits. Definitely appreciate the support on this particular video and all the others on my channel. Again, a huge shout out to Target Sports USA. Now back into the video review. I'm going to be reviewing this as an independent rifle, not the stock. If you want the stock review, check out that video. But let's start off with some broad generalized points about this setup, why you might want it, and then we will talk about the detailed specs and features. To start off with, this is a rifle. Even though it's a small, compact configuration, what you are looking at is a 1022 with a 18-inch barrel. And I say 1022, it's a Desert Tech 1022 bolt, barrel, housing action, all contained in the TREK-22 stock package. So you're getting a full 18-inch 22 long rifle barrel inside, though, a package that's 26.5 inches in overall length. So this is truly classified as a rifle, which makes it a nice touch. It's very small, nimble, and compact, very easy to maneuver, and it's very handy in a wide variety of situations. It's also fairly lightweight, so whether you're backpacking in on a camping trip or utilizing this as a survival rifle or a truck gun or even a different hunting rig for varmint, this is going to be a great option because it is so small and compact. The action is far behind the trigger. Another cool thing about this is it utilizes a threaded barrel 1/28, so you can add a suppressor on the end. And if you've ever tried to add a suppressor onto the end of an 18-inch barrel, you start to get pretty long and it starts to get pretty cumbersome trekking that through the woods. Pun intended there. So this is a nice touch that you can put like a micro can on the end of it and still have a nice compact lightweight package. The other cool thing that since this is a rifle, you can add vertical grips and whatever you want and shoulder it without worrying about any brace restrictions of having maybe a smaller 1022 style pistol that's available on the market. This is going to be a nice touch. Another cool generalized thing about this setup is even though it is kind of a lightweight design, it's built very nicely. The quality is good. I don't feel like it's going to break or anything's going to walk apart on me. Granted, there are tougher stocks on the market. I mean, this is going to be a polymer conversion stock, but it does a pretty darn good job and it feels really robust down at the range and using it just around the woods, maybe for hunting applications, climbing up in a stand. Again, it feels really durable. Now that we've discussed the barrel as well as the thread pitch, let's discuss kind of what's surrounding that barrel, which is the upfront M-LOK handguard and monolithic pick rail up at the top. Now you will see a seam split the top and the entire chassis system because, again, I believe this was designed as a stock or chassis first and then as a rifle setup. Now, I like this setup, and there are some critiques of assembly on the assembly video, maybe things like adding captured nuts and things like that. But again, if you want those specs and features and understanding of the assembly, check out that video. But those all completely evaporate on this setup because it is pre-assembled, so it's absolutely awesome that it comes together like this. It's also nice to attach those M-LOK slots or attachments wherever you want. I've got an IR laser aiming device and a light on the top from Votatu. Full video on that if you're looking for a great budget IR laser, and you pair that with a can, and man, you have a great night vision plinker. You're going to need to use a full height riser on your red dot to get the proper cheek weld, and that actually clears over the laser aiming module, so it works out pretty good, and overall it's fairly ergonomic. Moving on to the trigger, it's actually a crisp 3.5 pound trigger, and it's one of the absolute best bullpup triggers I felt, period, let alone on a 22 like this. So it does a really good job. The grip is going to be fairly comfortable. No real main issues there. You can get a good hold on it. I like the ergonomics of the entire setup. Moving along to the bolt, just a standard 1022 bolt. But this one actually has a nice knurled, oversized charging handle, so that's very convenient. And then you have the mag release and the access to the mag rail. Now, what I like about this bullpup over a lot of the others on the market is it retains all of the standard 1022 features. You're actually accessing the 1022, not a lever connected to a device, connected to another lever, actuating something. This is the actual 1022 mag release right there. You're not touching another secondary lever. This is the bolt. This is the safety. Like all of those key features that are on that 1022 receiver, you are actually touching, not an adapter, and I love that about this setup. It's also very easy to clean. You can access the sides, you can access the bottom. It's not going to be difficult at all to clean, but it will be a little bit difficult to pull it out of this chassis system. As you can see, all of these nuts and bolts. So just clean it inside. I know it's common to run your patch from the breech back out. I'm going to run mine through the muzzle to the breech. That's just what I'm personally going to do. I don't necessarily recommend you guys do that, but that's what I'm doing to clean this build, and it seems to work out pretty good. It also has 2 different mag spots, 4 different mags, 10 round 1022 mags in the back, and the butt pad's fairly nice. Now let's talk about accuracy and reliability, because if it's not reliable, there's no real reason to get this. It was 100% functional with a wide variety of ammo, and it worked out really good down at the range. It seemed to be fairly accurate also across the boards. Plinking with the red dot at 50 yards, it was stacking rounds pretty much in a nice tight circle. No issues whatsoever with accuracy. My biggest concern is you are mounting your optic to a polymer rail system, which is clamped on a shell housing around the receiver. You are not mounting anything to the receiver itself. Potentially, I would like to see somehow engineers work their way out to where maybe this space was cut out on the top of the receiver. And you know how a lot of the 1022s will have an aluminum rail exposed. It would be nice to see an exposed aluminum rail that bolts on and then runs all the way up. That way you're actually connecting your optic to the receiver. But because your cheek is right here, that may be impossible. So I'm just spitballing stuff. I'm not throwing shade at any of their engineers because everything works good and the optic has been holding 0. But again, maybe if you're dropping this on concrete optic, on polymer, which is clamped, it may not hold up as good, or it won't hold up as good as if it was clamped directly to the receiver. Just something to consider. I do want to stress, though, this is not just a novelty. It's not just a fun range gun. It is a practical shooter, and it's been holding 0 for the life of the time that I've been shooting this with the optic attached. The other one has been, again, holding 0 100%, no issues whatsoever. It's just not going to be a battle rig. But this is a 22, so keep that in mind. Again, varmint hunting, small little varmint gun, truck gun, bug out gun, survival rifle. This is going to fit the bill perfectly. Just know that it's probably not going to be the most durable optics setup on the market. In summary, I like it. I really like it. The only other con I could possibly think of would be the MSRP is right about $8, so it is not cheap. And I also love the fact, though, that they offer this as a stock as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out that video. You can save some money doing that yourself. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing something like this in action. I absolutely love it. It is a blast to shoot. It's so much fun down at the range. I'm glad I got a chance to shoot it. Thanks to Desert Tech for sending it out. I don't have to send it back. And thanks to Target Sports USA for always helping out with the ammo. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.